Hello, everybody. This is Alberto Kennedy, aka Grimoire. Um, I've been away for a while, as some of you may have noticed, but there's a good reason for it, I promise. I've been working a lot of projects, literary projects. I've been writing a great deal. The writing bug got me, and so I just went with it. I've also been taking care of myself, reviewing my abilities, reviewing my old grimoires and my notes, and just reviewing what I already know, refreshing the knowledge that I have. So what I bring to you today is the new book that I have published that's also out on Amazon right now. The book is called, I have my notes. The book is called NECROSOPHIA, Wisdom of the Dead. A book of occult secrets about our souls and the dead. I wrote this book to honor the dead, to dispel fear surrounding the dead, to also to help paranormal enthusiasts, psychics, psychic mediums, spiritualists, occultists, both beginners and experienced, to develop fresh perspectives, respect, compassion, and understanding of the dead. To bring light to dark places, obviously, and also to offer insight into our conscious mind, our connection to the collective consciousness, and the nature of our soul. I also offer ways to work with the dead that are not based, this is what I like about the book, that's not based on invoking an entity or a deity to help you connect with the dead. This helps you connect with your own divinity inside of yourself so you can connect with the dead on your own. And use your own innate abilities and your own inner divinity, your own divine self. Because I'm of the school of thought that all souls are but fragments or pieces of a greater collective soul that we return to after death. And that's where I go with this book, and I explain that thought process and that paradigm, if you will. I touch on topics like the difference between paranormal investigating and ghost hunting. Here's my issue, and I think I have other videos discussing this, but let me be succinct so you guys get the actual factuals of what I feel. There is a difference between paranormal investigating and ghost hunting. Ghost hunting is entertainment. Ghost hunting is not focused on helping the living or the dead. It's just fun. I have an issue with that. My issue is when you are gunning for ratings and you take an entertainment point of view when dealing with the dead, that's disrespectful to the dead. They're still alive. They just don't have a body. Some of them are traumatized. They haven't adjusted. They don't know how to adjust. They are psychologically and emotionally scarred because they carried trauma with them and they don't know how to work through it. How is provoking them? How is bothering them, hurting them, disturbing what little peace they have? How is that entertainment? I find that grotesque, you know. I like the shows. There are not all paranormal shows are like that. There are other paranormal shows where they actually try to heal the dead. They try to help the dead. They try to understand the dead and help them to cross over. I love those shows because that's beneficial not only to the dead but to the living. And I go into detail about that. This book I like because it talks, my book, NECROSOPHIA, I like because it talks about the nature of the soul. And it takes the Egyptian occult perspective that the ancient Egyptians believed that we have 7 souls, not just one. And I go into detail about that. I talk about what happens after the transition of death. when the dead are on the other side, what they go through, what they're feeling, their new state of existence, and what they need to do in order for them to cross over. I talk about what we can do to help them cross over. You know, sometimes people say, "Well, I want to help the spirit cross over. I just don't know how." This book shows you how, and this is where I go into detail. Well, I go into a detail regarding necromancy. Now, when you hear the word necromancy, you go like, "Oh my God, that's magic with the dead." You know, "Oh my God, that's scary." No, it's not. No, it's not. What it is, it's you're working with the dead. They're like living beings. Like, for example, if you light when you go into church and you light a candle for somebody that has passed on, that's necromancy. You're giving them light. You're helping them on their way. That's not wicked. That's not scary. When we revere the dead, when, you know, in Mexican tradition, November 1st, the Day of the Dead, or Halloween, you know, you know, all these, we are very intimately connected with the dead. We just don't think about it. Even Orthodox religions are based in necromancy. You know, they have elements of necromancy. When you pray to saints, invoke angels, when you invoke, when the church canonizes and the canonization and beatification of beings that have passed on, human beings that have died, you know, that's a form of necromancy. You know, when you're worshiping somebody that was alive but died, that's necromancy. So I go into detail regarding that, and I try to dispel the fear about necromancy. It's nothing to be afraid of, you know, especially if you do it intelligently and with respect. I talk about how to communicate with the dead, and this is another feature of the book that I'm really excited about. It has sigils in it for communication with the dead to protect you as much as protecting the dead. There's some sigils that I have in the book that are open sigils, so they don't have a filter, but I mentioned that in the book so you are aware of what it is. It's kind of like a Ouija board. You just put a candle over that sigil and you invoke or you connect. I have some that are open sigils in the book, but the majority of the sigils that I put in my book are filtered, which means they have a protective component. So when you are invoking or communing with the dead, you are protected through the symbolic sigil that is with symbol within the sigil itself, you know, designed for the dead. So I think that's really helpful, because I don't want people to just start invoking the dead, whatever, because you don't know what you're going to get. But some sigils that I have in my book have a protective mechanism in it. So there is light that you're invoking. And so I have different sigils for different things in my book, which is awesome. You know, I wanted to share that for you. And it's good, again, for psychics, psychic empaths, psychic mediums, for the whole psychic genre. For beginners and adepts. There's also meditation techniques that I employ in this book that I share with you guys to let you get in contact with your seven souls, get you in contact with your conscious mind and the various levels therein, as well as connecting you with the collective consciousness and the various levels in that. So it's pretty concise. It seems convoluted, but it's not. I think I wrote it in a way that anybody could understand. I always try to write books that everybody can assimilate, everybody can comprehend, everybody can understand. Because ascension is not just for a chosen few. Spiritual ascension is for everybody, you know? And everybody has a right to connect with their ancestors, the dead, and whatnot. Again, respectfully and with pure intentions. But that's what this book is about. I hope you guys buy it. It's inexpensive. You know, it's $9. You know, that's a cocktail. Well, in some areas, because I know in some areas cocktails are like 20, but $9. You know, it's even less than a cocktail. You know, and it has beneficial knowledge and wisdom, and it brings light to dark places, and brings light to the dead. I wanted to honor them with this book by helping people connect with the dead, but in a positive way. You know, it's an ebook format on Amazon. It's on sale now, $9. I hope you enjoy the book. Please get at me. I have my contact information in the book. Also, the sigils that I have in the book, I put my blog link so you can download these sigils and use them with whatever tradition you hail from, you know, and you get something out of it, not just knowledge, but you also get the sigils that I've created. Please let me know what you think. Just trying to bring light to dark places, and I will be back with more videos. Thank you.